Hi guys, my name is Abigail Klutz and I'm an independent promoter with the company Prove It. I live in Kansas City and so does my business partner, Dr. Heather Cardin. In this video, this is a live interview that we did on Crohn's, UC, gut health, inflammation, and GERDs. So these are any areas that you have been diagnosed with or you have been struggling with. Highly encourage you, watch this video, get some answers, get some resources, get the help you need, become aware of what you can do from a nutritional point using keto, using ketones to help heal your body and gut health. So I hope you enjoy this video. Leave any comments below if you have questions. Thank you for coming on today. And, I just want to get into it because I got to pick Charlotte up here in 15, 20 minutes. But tell me, you see this, you deal with this, patients in your office every day, you live the keto lifestyle. Guys, if you don't know Dr. Heather, well, Dr. Heather, introduce yourself. Tell us what you do.
So I am the co-owner of Cardin Center for Wellness. We have a very functional style of practice at our office. So we look at everything at the cellular level and see what's happening and really trying to be the best detective and see, is it the liver causing the issue, the bowel, is it the food source, is it your environment? So as a functional wellness practitioner, we really get down to the nitty and gritty. We do treat these topics. We do stool analysis. We do allergy panels for this. We do saliva cortisol. We do heavy metal testing, hair analysis, plus just standard blood work, which is generally how Crohn's and ulcerative colitis. If you're not familiar with those, I'm jumping into your question. They're both inflammatory bowel diseases. Crohn's can affect anywhere from the mouth to the toilet or the anus. I'm just going to be a doctor here. And then really ulcerative colitis is the large intestine to the rectum get big ulcers. We have treated this, like we talked about, for 20 years in our office. We've always done food elimination. We've cut out all grains. So that's kind of on that ketogenic lifestyle. We've added healthy fats, which lubricate the colon. We always take out peanuts and things that are high allergen foods. We take away eggs, but that's been really our most successful way of getting it. And we've had several patients over the last 20 years get in remission. I can say the first UC and Crohn's patients I saw were in their 40s. I have two people right now. One's in middle school and one is in high school. I have another college student who has got a pull from college because they can't get it under control because they're an athlete at college. They're having to eat the team muscle milk stuff. I know I shouldn't say names. They're having to eat the on-the-go food, travel, cortisol, eating holes in your colon. So for me, I think it's becoming such an uprise. We used to talk about irritable bowel and leaky gut, but our guts are such a mess. We're exposed to so many toxic things, and we're eating foods our body cannot digest. So your body is telling you, I can't digest the stuff. So with both of these conditions are both inflammatory, UC being severe inflammatory, diarrhea, cramping, weight loss, GERD, inflammation, fatigue. Generally with ulcerative colitis, you get a lot of bleeding in the stool because you have open ulcers in the large intestine. So we've always used a very healthy gut biome, low carb, high fat, ketogenic diet with food elimination, more autoimmune ketogenic style to actually treat these diseases, and then use herbs and minerals to help replenish what's been lost through the chronic inflammation. These things don't just happen overnight to your gut. This is long-term. I explain it like a cavity. If you don't brush your teeth for 5 years, you might not get a cavity, but year 8 or 10, you may just get a whopping cavity and have to go all in with a root canal. Same thing's true with your gut. Once you get signs and symptoms, 60% damage. So people often go, oh, I'm tooting and that smells, or I didn't go to the bathroom today, that's normal for me, or I have to take something to help me go, or it's normal to take over-the-counter antacids. That's your stomach telling you something. So we ignore it by over-the-counter stuff. We continue on the path because most physicians don't relate it to diet, but I can tell you 100% it is diet related. So I don't know where you wanted me to go, but I love this topic. I love gut health. I love to talk about poop. I love to talk about indigestion. I love to talk about food. So that's my life.
I'm trying so hard to be mature right now.
I can tell a story I'm not going to, so.
No, I want to talk about this because I want this to be a resource that I can tag up. I have had friends who have been taking up to 10 to 12 pills a day for Crohn's, and, you know, did the really low carb, high fat diet, felt amazing, but life kicks in, life gets hard. They start falling off of it, and all of a sudden their symptoms are back in full flare. So I've seen it go into almost like a remission and then come back. So I guess, what is the difference? I know you kind of said this at the beginning, but what is really the difference between UC and Crohn's? And will the same result with keto?
Yeah, so Crohn's can happen anywhere in the intestinal tract. So from the upper esophagus down to the rectum. Sorry, guys, I don't know how else to say it. And then ulcerative colitis is a severe inflammatory bowel disease. So it's more severe than Crohn's. People can still feel terrible. It only affects the large intestine where you get open ulcers. So they have bloody stool, bright red blood in the stool, not like a hemorrhoid. Sometimes they have black tarry stool, depending on where it is in the intestines. But what you're saying is typical of everyone. Maybe someone's taking something for schizophrenia. They take their medication, they feel better, then they stop. People's guts get calmed down. And again, like I said, 40% damage when the epithelial lining, which is the lining of your gut, then you get symptoms. So they feel better. We go back to our old lifestyle. Then we start tearing the gut up again. And then once that they're getting signs and symptoms, it's 60% damage. The great news is the body can heal. The great news is the body can make its own anti-inflammatory hormones. That epithelial lining sheds all the time. Bad news is there's limited education. A lot of the head GI guys, especially in the Midwest, are not supporting dietary changes. They are getting on the gluten wagon a little bit, but even gluten-free stuff is super high in sugar, which feeds inflammation. So I'm excited to I've been using the Keto OS exogenous ketones the minute they came out with my UC and Crohn's patients, also my kiddos with eosinophilia esophagitis, because what happens if they're untreated, a lot of these people are put in anti-rejection drugs. They're put on steroids to calm everything down, which totally disrupts. And I saw somebody said they were 17 when they got diagnosed. So if you're putting these anti-rejection drugs in your body, which you have to do, your doctor recommended it to slow it down. I want people to know, that's why I said yes to do, that you can absolutely help yourself. Not, we're going to say remission or cure, but help your gut lining heal by giving it the proper food it needs. So we always include a food allergy panel because there's silent things that can cause a histamine reaction. Like if you have sinusitis, your nose drippies and gets run, the same thing happens in your colon. So we combine the best of the both worlds with a low-fat, high-fat ketogenic diet. But as you and I both know, ketones reduce inflammation. They provide more oxygen, and we have to have oxygen to heal the gut. So that's why it's super exciting to have this tool to give people. And then again, the craving control. Some people, they get it here. They remember how good they felt, but then life takes over. Cravings happen, which can be a much stronger force than what your brain is telling you. Like, I'm craving that, I have to have it. And then one thing leads to another, and they think, oh, I've been better. I'm going to have SIF for one day. And then it turns in, Thanksgiving to Valentine's Day.
True. And, I know personally, and with every client I work with, the ketones suppress appetite. I drink them specifically before I get Charlotte because it lets the brain fog, it brightens my mood. But when she gets home, I don't munch on what she's grabbing too. But as far as like it being like them helping inflammation, why is that? What's going on there with ketones and reducing inflammation for gut health?
So I think everyone agrees around the globe that sugar feeds inflammation. So if you're having a diet, standard Western diet, you're feeding on carbohydrates, even if it's gluten-free, even if it's corn-free or dairy-free, a lot of those products are still super high in inflammation or super high in carbs, where when you're drinking the exogenous ketones, as Dr. Veach found, you elicit less glucose, which means less insulin, which means overall less inflammation, even on a non-perfect diet. So you're reducing the amount of sugar feeding the inflammation. You're going to help reduce the cravings overall. And again, you're getting all those healing properties because of the signaling properties of ketones. Your brain is telling your gut to heal. Oftentimes when you get an ulcer, like with ulcerative colitis or UC, you'll get an ulcer. And it's almost like a road construction happens inside your colon, and then things don't get bypassed or it just shoots it right out in the form of diarrhea. Now we know the signaling properties are telling, because we know there's more nerves in your gut than in your spinal cord. So if we can get the gut talking to the brain, we have a better chance of healing, reducing craving, telling your body to help elicit those cytokines, those interleukins, those things that actually heal inflammation at the cellular level. So it's amazing that people can use this any time of the day with any type of gut issue, not just with a chronic inflammatory bowel issue, but with leaky gut or with any type of indigestion, that kind of thing.
So someone up on here had asked about GERDs. Would that be in that same
Yeah,
category?
GERD is generally, it's generally a low hydrochloric acid in your stomach, but overall GERD for a long time, if you cover it up, can actually lead to an inflammatory bowel disease, but GERD's happening up higher in the esophagus, so that would be more along the line of Crohn's. Left untreated, yes, it could turn into more inflammation, but GERD is a maldigestion, so you're putting food in, your stomach sends it back up, either it's an allergen it doesn't know, or doesn't have enough pancreatic enzymes or B12 or hydrochloric acid to help break it down, because we all thought we're supposed to take these non-acid pills for our stomach, where we actually need a whole bunch of acid to do that.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So Dr. Heather, somebody's watching this for the first time. They're struggling with GERDs or UC or Crohn's. What's a typical keto day for you look like? That's easy, simple, just wake up, go to bed. What's in between?
So I would definitely probably use the keto porridge that I love, or of chia pudding, because we're taking my all dairy 100% of the time, except for grass-fed butter with my UC and Crohn's, or anybody with any type of bowel issues. So I would take that away. You can, the ketones in the morning with that, you can mix and match. You can make little Jello shots throughout the day. So I make little Jello packs that you can feed, because your gut's working 24/7. So I like to feed the inflammation all day long. If they're in a flare-up, then you can drink the ketones all at one time, but keep that diet pretty simple, like, again, some porridge or chia seed stuff for breakfast, or a keto pancake that's really low allergen. Then at lunch, have a nice salad or a big soup with a bunch of leeks and kales and fish and things like that. So really low allergen, easy to digest. Ketones, either like a fourth of a serving 4 times throughout the day, or make 12 ice cubes and just, or Jello cubes, and just have those every couple hours, or have, again, 4 to 6 ounces when you're trying to get stuff to calm back down. So generally about 30 minutes before meals, so you prepare the gut to calm the inflammation down. If you had a super stressful day, we know ulcers are caused by stress. You have to eliminate stress. You have to get sleep, and you have to say no to either some of your friends or some of the other things in your world that may be toxic, but that's included in the ketogenic lifestyle, is getting plenty of sleep. So you could use the 143 because it's dairy-free, absolutely, because it has the lauric acid in it, which is antibacterial, antiviral, antiparasitic, and also helps reduce inflammation. Well, inflammatory bowel disease is generally a gut biome imbalance. So there's generally a virus out of balance or bacteria out of balance. So the lauric acid in the 143 is as much as you can take. So this is actually 6 servings. So I generally have people start with a half a teaspoon. Again, just sprinkle it throughout the day, because think of, if your skin's dry, you put lotion on, or aloe vera juice. The same thing's true. Your colon's irritated. You want to just line the colon with the 143. You can mix this with aloe vera juice, coconut milk. You know, you and I put it on our salads, your steamed veggies. I put it on dry tuna or salmon if it's leftover, because it just makes it taste better.
I'm putting it now actually in my coffee in the morning, and I'm still bulleting it, and it's still getting frothy, and it's got just a little bit of a coconut undertone to it. It's still really good, but I feel like my gut is doing better. I don't know. It's just, it's really helped.
The great thing is you'll notice things really quickly when you cut out the dairy, the wheat, the high fructose corn syrup, those things that are hard to digest, fried foods, acidy foods like coffee and things like that. Amazing difference. Like your friends, they all of a sudden they feel better, because the body wants to heal when you give it the right elements or ingredients. And that's what this is all about, is giving your body what it needs to heal.
For somebody struggling, with that, is there one ketone product that's better than the other? Like, would you recommend the chocolate swirl for gut health biome, or the one with MCT in it for more fat?
Because of the dairy and the orange, dairy is about 100% what I find. We just don't make the good dairy. So I love the orange for athletes, but if you have a dairy sensitivity, dairy allergy, I think about 99% of Crohn's and UC patients have a dairy sensitivity. So I love the chocolate swirl, and I love the Max. So the Max is stronger, but definitely caffeine free, just to help the gut be calmed down. I have my patients mix it with aloe vera juice, or with like coconut milk or hemp milk, because it's a little higher alkaline, or even change the alkalinity of the water to help the gut at that lower part of the bowel where UC really is affected.
That's interesting. Probably over the last 3 months, I've now been taking the non-caffeine chocolate swirl it's designed for gut health biome right there. And I put it in a vanilla shake post-workout. I read an article about, after you work out, your body is so pungent and nutrients are partitioning quicker into the muscle bodies, and it's a good time to really focus in on your gut health. So I've been putting that actually post-workout in my shakes, and I love it. It's really good too.
It's my favorite. So, I mean, people can mix and match. Again, the keto cream has some dairy in it, so I would use a 1-4-3 instead of the keto cream. I would use any of them except for the orange. I probably wouldn't do the amped because of the niacin and some of the other B vitamins, and sometimes it's just too overstimulating because, again, think of ulcers are formed because you're overstressed. Well, sometimes too much caffeine can overstress the gut as well, especially if you're drinking coffee and tea. So it's a pretty simple recipe. Just cut out those top 10 allergen foods, cut out the fried food, eat soups and salads and stir fries, lean healthy meats, as in fishes and things like that, not pork or ham, that kind of stuff. And the gut does amazing things. To bowel tolerance, I would use as much 1-4-3 as you can. And when you put it with, like, I did it with leftover dried salmon yesterday. We had some leftover turkey loin. It really brings a flavor back out. Or with sushi, it brings a flavor back out. But you're also coating it with food, so your body's digesting all at the same time. And again, it's like antimicrobial effect, which really helps gut health. Am I being too sciencey? Because Dr. Nally said don't say diarrhea.
No, I think that's a more non-sciencey term. I don't know.
I didn't say toots.
No, this is great. Here's the thing. I think the people who are looking for this video have been to the doctor and don't feel like they're being helped, or they feel like they're being given pills. And so I think explaining it scientifically and from a medical application is what people are craving to hear, because I think we all truly believe deep down inside that you can approach something first in a nutritional way, maybe before loading up all the drugs, right?
Yeah, in defense of some of the doctors, some of the protocols, like if you have high cholesterol or your cholesterol is 201, they have to recommend a prescription. Some of it's they just have to protect themselves. But as an advocate for your own health, you can reach out to the computer, you can read the books, and you can decide to make your own decisions. Inform yourself. Use this video. Be a pessimist. Go Google whatever I said. Google Crohn's and dairy, Crohn's and diarrhea, or Crohn's or UC and gluten, or UC and high fructose corn syrup. Google all that stuff. You're going to see the leading researchers are going to say, eliminate the top 10 food allergens, which include eggs and peanuts and shellfish. Eliminate moldy foods. So don't go over drink kombucha, but drink the ketones because they're water soluble, which means your gut doesn't have to break it down. It's a little gift. So when you're talking about having a package of ketones, that's like already breaking down about 15 tablespoons of coconut oil. So your gut gets a nice gift because it goes right into the cell for your body to use it.
Awesome. No, I think that's great. Does anybody else have any questions on here in regards to UC or Crohn's or gut inflammation that they want to ask Dr. Heather? Thank you guys for joining us too today. Awesome. Okay, well, I think this is a great video. I think it'll be awesome to tag people up on who you know. And Dr. Heather, like, where can they go for lifestyle help, recipes, things like that?
Awesome. So you guys can find me at Ask Dr. Heather. My blog is askdrheather.net. You can just join freely. I have a ton of information on ketogenic, almost a mini library, 1,000 different recipes that are all gluten-free, 99% are dairy-free. Also have a YouTube channel, which is Ask Dr. Heather. I have a lifestyle disease on thyroid health and adrenal health and gut health and food allergies. Just a little bit longer conversation we had here. Facebook, I'm Ask Dr. Heather, which is at the Keto Doc. So please feel free to join and follow me. Thanks, Dr. Nally, for giving me that boost there. So Dr. Nally just dropped in my website there. So please join in and let me know if you have questions. My website is Ask, Act, and Achieve. So ask the question. Let me give you some action steps so you can achieve your overall health.
I love that. Thank you so much, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this interview with Dr. Heather Cardin. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you feel like you got value and questions answered. If you have comments or more questions, drop me some in the comments section below. Also, if this was useful and you want to see more videos like this, definitely hit the subscribe button to my channel, Abby K Life, and there will be more videos to come.